Could these major Star Wars characters finally show up in the Book of Boba Fett? This is Nerdist Now. The second episode of the Book of Boba Fett dropped this week, and we're finding out the chapters in said book are positively dripping with Tusken Raider lore, speeder chases, and some very sassy Hutts. While episode 2 gave us more backstory about what Boba was up to following his dramatic escape from the Sarlacc pit, we've been formulating some theories of our own about who might show up in the future to make the crown of Jabba's throne even heavier for our favorite bounty hunter to wear.
I am not a bounty hunter.
Boba's got himself plenty of new enemies out there just waiting in the wings and on the shoulders of some very strong valets. But there are two major characters from Boba's past that could possibly make an appearance now that he's re-emerged from the Sarlacc pit and joined the land of the living once more. Now, to talk about these theories at length, we need to talk about the Boba Fett timeline, which includes Clone Wars, Solo, The Bad Batch, and the Book of Boba Fett, of course. So if you want to avoid even the hint of the slightest of spoilers, make like a reckless conductor droid and zoom on out of here. Still here? Great. Boba is facing threats from basically every criminal within sneezing distance of Mos Espa, as well as trying to deal with the phantoms of his past, as we see whenever Mr. Fett takes a dip back in his back-to-bath. It's safe to say that he hasn't had the easiest life ever since that ill-fated take your son to work day back on Genosha. All of that aside, Boba has lived a very fascinating life both pre- and post-purge of the expanded universe novels and comics back when Disney reset the canon back in 2014. Boba has done it all, from using an intergalactic magician as bait to capture a space pirate, rescuing a Hutt bride from kidnappers, and even being the best man at Dengar's wedding, and those stories aren't even canon anymore. And as much as we'd love to see Boba giving a best man speech about that mummy Dengar, who knows what's gonna happen this season? Probably not that, because, let's face it, not exactly wedding season on Tatooine. A little too hot. We have a pretty solid grasp on Boba Fett's timeline going back to his time on Kamino up to his final appearance in Clone Wars, where he underestimated the assassin Asajj Ventress and wound up gift wrapped for the dictator Otua Blank. And that's where things get a little bit murky until he reappears in The Empire Strikes Back. Asajj Ventress will most likely not be getting a cameo in Boba Fett because she sacrificed herself in the battle against Count Dooku 20 plus years before the events of this show. And the same goes for Boba Fett's former and extremely untrustworthy partner, Aurra Sing, who died at the hands of Tobias Beckett before the events of Solo, a Star Wars story.
You killed Aurra Sing.
Pushed her. Pretty sure the fall killed her.
You did the galaxy a favor that day.
But one looming shadow from Boba's bounty hunting past has been revealed to be alive and well. Everyone's favorite blue bad boy, Cad Bane, is still zipping around the galaxy, and he has multiple axes to grind not only with Boba Fett, but with Fennec Shand as well. We last saw Cad Bane getting foiled by Fennec Shand and Clone Force 99 in The Bad Batch during his botched attempt to capture Omega, the only unmodified female clone made from Jango Fett's DNA template. After getting boloed and spin-kicked off a balcony by Fennec Shand, Cad Bane managed to use his rocket boots to thrust himself to safety as he watched his burlap sack full of credits zoom off into space. And Boba doesn't have the highest opinion of Cad Bane either. Clone Wars fans out there might know that there was supposed to be a showdown between the two, but the sequence was never produced for the show. At Star Wars Celebration in 2017, the unfinished scene made its debut. In the clip, we see a young Boba Fett standing up to a murderous Cad Bane who's on a major power trip. The two face off in a blaster duel that ends with Boba seemingly killing Cad Bane while suffering his infamous helmet dent thanks to Bane's blasters. With Boba and Fennec working together, the allure of killing two birds with one thermal detonator feels like something that could pull Cad Bane into the Book of Boba Fett in his first ever live-action appearance. It's honestly not too big of a leap for him to make said leap, but it's probably more likely than our other theory, the canonization of Sintas Vel. In the Dark Horse comics Star Wars Tales No. 7 from 2001, we see the first appearance of Sintas Vel in the story outbid but never outgunned. Sintas is a Kafar warrior who became a bounty hunter at a very young age. She eventually crossed paths with Boba Fett, the two fell in love, got married, and they eventually had a child together named Islan. They lived a quiet life together on the planet Concord Dawn, where Boba gave up his bounty hunting lifestyle and became a journeyman protector, basically like a space constable, kind of like Cobb Vanth. But after killing his commanding officer for assaulting Sintas, Boba was exiled from Concord Dawn, forced to leave his wife and daughter behind. A recent trailer for the Book of Boba Fett gave us a glimpse of a new character played by actress Sophie Thatcher, who many eagle-eyed fans are theorizing could be Islan herself based on her appearance being similar to the one we saw in the comics. Now, we know that Sintas and Islan are both characters from the expanded universe now known as Star Wars Legends, which means they are not currently canon. But Lucasfilm hasn't been afraid to bring popular EU characters back into the main universe fold. I mean, just look at Grand Admiral Thrawn or everyone's favorite, Jackson! He's back, in Pog form. So could we see Boba Fett be reunited with his old flame and the child he left behind? Maybe. Like a big maybe, but still a maybe. It's not too far off. Introducing the tragedy of Boba Fett and Sintas Vel into the main canon could make for an extremely heart-wrenching and fantastic story arc that could wrap all the way from Boba's early years to where he is today. So fingers crossed our questions about this particular mystery street tough will be answered next week. But for now, tell us, what do you think of all of this? Are there any expanded universe characters you want to see make an appearance in the Book of Boba Fett? Were you also saddened by the image of an empty Rancor pen? And how cool was that mean-looking Wookiee? Love that guy. Black K, you the man. Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, make sure you stay tuned to Nerdist.com.